Hello there. Welcome back to Costanza, a podcast about something. Happy May the 4th. I am your host, Joe Costanza, not to be confused with Jedi Master George Costanza from Seinfeld. This is episode 12. This is where the fun begins. And as usual, I am here with my Padawan, Jake, from State Farm.
Hello there.
General Kenobi. All right. So this is going to be a very special episode today. We are going to be discussing a Star Wars show that has recently ended. It's been going on for about 3 years now. The Bad Batch, which is a spin-off on the Clone Wars.
Can't believe
So,
it's already been 3 years. Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. It actually came out on May the 4th.
Huh.
And it ended, I think, 3 days ago. So that's kind of fitting. So spoilers throughout, especially for season 3. If you have not seen the show, click off if you're interested in the show. So, so basically, a synopsis of the show is that it's an animated television series that acts as both a. This is on Wikipedia, by the way. It's an animated television series that acts as both a sequel and a spin-off to Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It focuses on the squad known as Clone Force 99, a band of genetically enhanced storm clone troopers, and it's basically just them doing missions and all that stuff. So they were in an
Uh,
episode of Clone Wars, and
yeah, I remember
they just
that.
decided to have their own show.
Yeah, I thought they appeared in like the final season of Clone Wars, right?
It did,
Or
yeah.
was it like second to last? I don't remember. But
No, it was the final season.
yeah.
So, what are your overall thoughts on the show in general?
I really liked the show. The first season, it was okay, but I did like the second season a little better, and then the third one I feel like was the best, in my opinion. It's not as good as the Clone Wars, but it's still a pretty good show by itself.
Yeah, it's really hard to beat Clone Wars because Clone Wars still to this day is one of my favorite shows of all time, and
Yeah,
there's
it's
like a reason
amazing.
people go back to it. But I feel like Bad Batch, it's kind of on the same level as Rebels for me, and that might be an unpopular opinion because I'm not that big a fan of Rebels, but I still like it. I just don't think it's like Clone Wars or Andor or The Mandalorian level good. I think it's on par with like Ahsoka or Bad Batch or Kenobi. So
I mean,
it's like great territory.
I haven't seen Rebels for like years. Like I remember when it was like first coming out. That's literally when I last saw it. So I barely remember anything besides like
Yeah,
the Darth Maul episodes.
the Darth Maul and Darth Vader episodes are
And yeah,
the
yeah,
only things I
Vader appeared.
remember.
Yeah, and I remember Ahsoka was in it like for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I kind of forgot a large amount of it
So
because I was young.
yeah, and I think we can both agree that like the first season is the worst season because it just kind of feels like they're kind of like trying to find their place, you know. It really didn't feel like I was
For the
interested in
Bad
it
Batch.
until yeah, for Bad Batch, not Clone Wars, but yeah, for Bad Batch it felt like it was kind of like a
Yeah,
slow start and they were trying to like find their place in the Star Wars universe. Like,
and,
okay, what do we do with these band of misfit clones?
they have to find the island of misfit clones. But
Yeah. It-
now I gotta say, when I first saw Omega in the first season, first couple of seasons, I kind of thought she was kind of annoying. I gotta say because
yeah, she was very
she
annoying.
constantly got herself into trouble. I'm like, come on. Like once I can understand, but like 50 times, come on.
Exactly. And then not only that,
I
it's
kind of
just
got used to it in season 3. I'm like, she's gonna get in trouble again, isn't she? I was right.
the Empire's gonna find her again, aren't they? He's right
Yeah,
behind me, isn't he?
the Empire's gonna search for her again. That kind of got a little repetitive. Like the first
It did,
season,
yeah.
they were like, "Oh, we have to find a home for her." The second season, they were trying to get her. The third season, they were trying to get her again. And I'm like,
It's just like okay, yeah. So they found her. Or they're
then
trying to like find her a
the Empire
home.
found
What do
her,
we
then
do?
they lost her, and then they found her.
Finding Omega, a Star Wars story.
I feel like I feel like the show should have just been about the Bad Batch, not really about
It
this kid.
it really should have
And also, how does
because
that work? If they're genetically altering Jango Fett's DNA, how do they get a female from that?
I don't
If it's
know.
XY chromosome, how do you get XX? You just clone the other X? And like, what the fuck? I don't know. How does that work?
I don't know how they did that. Wasn't that one scientist chick a clone as well?
Yeah, Emery. Yeah, how did they make her as well?
I don't know. The whole Star Wars lore is very confusing. Like I don't really know, especially nowadays. But I like the
Yeah,
whole Bad Batch as a whole. Like we've seen Echo before. He's been there since season 1
yeah,
of Clone Wars. But like Hunter
yeah. And
is
then didn't he go missing for like a few seasons in the Clone Wars?
yeah, he died.
Yeah, yeah, and it turns out he was actually taken like prisoner or something, and then he was like a half droid, half like clone.
Yeah. And that was actually one of their original plans before they canceled Clone Wars. And then when Clone Wars got brought back, that was one of the storylines they brought in. So
Yeah. One day I'd like to rewatch Clone Wars, but do it in the chronological order because we watched it in like the order of release of episodes. But apparently there is a chronological order. You can find it online. I think it was like, I think maybe even Disney Plus made something for that. I don't know.
yeah. Also, what do you think of like the group as a whole? Like Hunter, Wrecker, Tech,
So
Echo.
the group, obviously Hunter is like the leader. They never kind of officially said it, but he kind of was, and I
No,
thought
he
he was a good main character. He was like always great with battle strategy and stuff. Wrecker, I thought he was funny, but as much as like I liked him, they didn't really do a lot of stuff for his strength. Like that's his defining trait that he's really strong, but oftentimes I made him just be like a doofus, and he didn't really do much.
he
I
kind of
kind of
reminds
felt
me.
like that. What were we saying?
He kind of reminds me of Drax the Destroyer because
It,
he's like the
yeah.
strong brooding character, but he's also the comic relief. So
And there's only been a few times in the show where his strength actually helped out. But like when you first saw like that when they first appeared in the Clone Wars, like it was funny how like this big strong guy was afraid of heights. And
yeah.
I just feel like they could have done more with him, more with his strength, but they didn't really do that. Uh I did like Tech, how he was like analytical. He didn't really have a sense of humor, but I
He's
mean
the actually guy. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty much what he is.
and then Echo, I like his robotic arm thing.
Yeah,
It's like
that
his
was cool.
it's kind of like an R2 you know how R2 has
Yeah,
like a
that
little thing
thing.
attached to and then Crosshair, I mean, he's kind of an asshole.
Crosshair. I mean, Crosshair. I mean, even when he first appeared in the Clone Wars, I thought he was kind of an ass. I didn't expect him to turn evil, and I did not understand his motives in the first season. At first, like we thought, oh, it was the inhibitor chip, and then he said, "Oh no, I got removed a long time ago. I was just always an asshole." Like that didn't really make sense to me.
I kind
Like,
of liked that because
I mean,
every other clone that got their inhibitor chip removed, like Rex, for example, he refused to execute Order 66 afterwards. But um, like Crosshair is just like, no, I like being bad. It makes me happy. But
oh,
no,
don't
he.
say that. Don't say that, man. That's a cringy ass line. Don't say that.
But he's like I kind of like that where he's just like naturally evil. Like he just kind of wants to go to the dark side and like kind of wants to work for the Empire because they're keep in mind they're defective clones. So like
Yeah.
they're all fucked up in the head. So
Well, the thing is that Crosshair, I don't know when he got his chip removed. Like, did they ever explain when or why he got his chip removed?
no, but I think it was before Order 66.
Are you sure? Because he was saying like good soldiers follow orders. I thought it was like that moment where the ship like burned part of his head. I think they probably had to do something where like the chip got damaged, so they had to remove it. But
Actually,
and I
I
don't
think it did
know
get malfunctioned. Yeah.
if it was before Order 66, why would they take it out of his head? How would they know that he was already loyal to the Empire if the Empire had yet to exist?
I honestly don't know. I haven't seen season one in a long time. Keep in
And
mind, we started season one, I think, in the beginning of 2023. So we've been watching it
yeah,
for quite a while.
and I'm happy that in season three they did kind of explain his motives. How he said, "I thought I was doing right with the Empire," because really, if you think about it, they're born to be soldiers. They are, and once the Clone Wars is done, it's really like, well, what now? Like, what do we do now? Like the Empire, I feel like that was all Crosshair had left. I just feel like they didn't do a good job of explaining that in the first season. It took them all the way to like the third season to like fully like understand why he was joining the Empire, because he felt like there's nothing left for me to do besides this. And he thought the Empire cared about him, but they didn't. They didn't care about any of the clones, and you're slowly realizing that. And that's why he defected back to the Bad Batch.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I didn't think of that.
But I just
But
feel like they could have done a better job in the first season of explaining the why he thought it was the right thing to be part of the Empire. They just didn't do that.
yeah, um, we're kind of like going a little ahead. So,
Yeah,
season one
sorry.
overall, I think the first season was okay. Like, I
Yeah, it was
loved it.
okay.
I loved the first episode
Oh
because
yeah, that
like I
was
said,
pretty cool.
directly during Order
Order
66. I think it
66,
starts,
yeah.
yeah, because there's like a young Kanan.
Yeah, young Kanan, yeah, and they let him get away. I
Yeah,
like that
and
concept that they're so defective that the inhibitor chips don't affect them, well, as much. They did affect Wrecker that one time, and they tried to remove it. But I like how they're like, what the hell is going on? Why are we killing all the Jedi?
yeah, and
I
I
saw
think
like
they
a
were with
me
a couple of clone troopers as well.
I saw like a meme before of like a clone trooper like lost the communication in his helmet, and he's like, wait, why are we killing all the Jedi? Seeing here the Order 66.
Guys, why are we killing the Jedi? Uh, Somehow Palpatine decided that we would do this.
And
Just
okay, I'll go back to that for like season three. I had like an idea, but we can
go
talk
ahead.
about season two. Well, I was thinking season three. I thought that the whole like taking the metachlorians and using Omega's blood to clone it. I thought that was supposed to explain the somehow of how Palpatine returned, because I remember in the Rise of Skywalker, one guy said something about like, "Oh, Sith cloning," and then that was it, and then they never explained it. Like, wait, the Sith knew how to clone? Well,
No,
I thought it was the
I thought that.
Kaminoans.
Yeah, no, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, I
Like when
think that
when I
is
first
what
saw
it
it, I'm like,
was.
yeah. So Palpatine cloned himself. Yeah, that makes sense because he was behind the whole
I
cloning
think people
situation.
just I think people just meme the somehow Palpatine returned, and then they just ignore the second line that the other guy said. But
I mean,
I
that's
will
no
admit
offense to you.
they did not actually like explain it much at all. They're just like, oh yeah, the Sith have cloning abilities, and then they
It
never
is a
mention it.
stupid line. It is a stupid line, yeah. But like, it's not like people are acting like it's the worst line ever. I've heard fucking worse. But anyways,
But
um, back on
um
topic with season one. I think yeah. Besides the first episode, I really and the last episode, everything in between is just like okay, like fine.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was kind of boring to watch. I gotta say, the first
yeah.
season.
What the fuck was her name? The one they were working for like 2 seasons.
Oh, Sid.
Did yeah. I liked her in the beginning. I'm like, okay, she's kind of cool. And Rex showed up for a little bit. Uh,
Yeah, I
like
liked Rex showing up.
I always love Rex, but and then the fucking the two worst Star Wars characters ever, the sisters showed up for like an
Oh,
episode or two.
oh
I don't know
God.
for what reason, but yeah, they showed up.
Yeah, I remember. Oh god, they were in like the that Ahsoka episode in the Clone Wars.
That was yeah.
Uh,
That was like the reason why season 7 is not my favorite season. It has my favorite arc, which is the final 4 episodes, but Clone Wars season 7 is just kind of like mid because of that.
if they weren't in there, it would have been the best. But I did not like them.
Right. But yeah, so season 1, like I don't really remember that much of season 1, so I apologize if I'm kind of like scrambling to think of it, but 1 was okay. 2, I really enjoyed 2.
That was
I think
pretty.
that's
I was pleasantly surprised about two because one kind of wasn't all that good, but two I did like that a lot better. I feel like they
I
kind of
think
knew what they were doing now. They're like,
I think
okay,
two
this
is the
is what
best
we want.
season.
Two? Huh. I mean,
Yeah,
I did enjoy like how three kind of picks up right after two, so it kind of
the mission
feels
the
like a
missions
part
just
two.
kind of felt better, because
Yeah, the missions were
it
cooler.
and like the I don't really remember much of it, but there's like uh I think there was something involving pod racing,
Yeah, there
which
was.
there was like a yeah, and
There was a
then
droid doing pod racing, and Tech had to do it.
Cad Bane shows up for a little bit,
Oh yeah, Cad Bane. I
and
love
the
that.
chick from Mando and Boba Fett, I forgot her name.
You know what's funny about how Cad Bane and Boba Fett was saying like, "Oh, Boba Fett's a bounty hunter who was working for the Empire." Meanwhile, he also works for the Empire. So that's kind of
It's
weird.
hypocritical, yeah.
It's weird. I don't know why they included that. It's not like he was a good person at all. He was evil in the Clone Wars.
Boba Fett was such an ass show. Like we'll get to Boba Fett during our Star Wars podcast eventually, but a Star Wars episode of the podcast, but it's just very like why the fuck would you do that? It's it's so stupid, but um yeah, like Omega I think was a little better in this season because she wasn't like as annoying and I guess she had like some clever stuff to do, like she's smart like about as smart as Tech and she kind of is like the sister to like the younger sister to even though she's fucking older
Yeah, she is
to
technically
the Bad
older.
Batch.
Yeah, I feel like they did like the times like where she was like playing those games, and like those strategy games, and she kept on winning against everyone. I felt like they were gonna dive more into that because that was an enhanced trait that Omega had to be able to have like expert strategy, much like Hunter. But they kind of really didn't do much with it
No,
besides
I
making
thought
it
they went forward with that, didn't they?
a little bit, but not as much as I thought they would. I mean, I don't really
No,
remember much of season two, really.
because she did like a little card game with one of the people from the Empire. I think it was like Rampart or
Oh
some shit.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that. Okay.
they did go forward with that.
Okay, yeah, okay, I do remember that. That slipped my mind. But I think they did improve on Omega in season two. She definitely felt more like their sister in a way, and I feel like that kind of raised the stakes when she got captured at the end of season two. It kind of felt like we have to get her back.
Yeah,
Like they made it believable of the relationship growing.
yeah,
It is
and
kind of
then
weird. He's older than them because they have like enhanced like aging, so that's kind of weird to
yeah,
think
that
about.
is weird. That is very weird. But I did like how Tech got like his kind of center stage in like the last half
Yeah,
of season because I had a feeling he was gonna die because of that because I'm like okay Tech has a lot of screen time and like a lot of moments to himself. I feel like he's gonna bite the dust and at the end of season
he
two
did.
he did so
I like it. Yeah, Tech sacrificed himself for everyone.
I
Since
loved
when
his
did we
last
ever
line.
follow? Yeah, since when did we ever follow orders? And he just cuts the rope,
That was so good. I loved that.
and it was
Um,
such a hard choice because they wanted to pull him up, and he knew like I'm not gonna make it. You guys have to go. Oh man,
yeah, that was really good.
and
Like,
I was starting to like him as well, and then they had to
yeah,
kill
no,
him.
I've been liking him, but it was just like, damn, dude, that was like a hard hit. But I did like I did like the
Oh,
fact
you
that
know what's even sadder? Tech never got to see Crosshair's redemption.
yeah, that's true.
He never got to know, hey, he ended up joining us again. That was, oh
Damn,
man, that's
and
sad.
I'm very happy that they didn't bring him back because usually in Star Wars, they especially nowadays they bring people back. Like they
They
brought back
bring
Cat
everyone back.
brought back Boba Fett, they brought back Darth Maul, Palpatine. Like they brought back so many characters. I thought Tech was going to be one of them. He never showed up, so I'm very happy about that.
If he got stabbed with a lightsaber, there's a 100% chance he'd come back because it's Disney.
Oh my god, that shit was so stupid. And I also like, okay, I don't hate Disney Star Wars as much as other people do, but I think the two main things that I have a problem with are the lightsaber stabs that don't get
Yeah.
people killed, and the fact that like, because in Bad Batch, there's a couple episodes where they never show up, and I get it
Oh
because like
yeah.
this is an expanded universe, and there's like other characters and shit and other universes to explore, but the show is called Bad Batch. At
Yeah,
least
wasn't there like a couple of episodes that was just about Omega?
not even Omega. I think it was like something else. Like it was a fucking this blue chick, and she was trying to get
Oh
Ren
yeah.
held accountable or some shit. Like, I'm like, where the fuck is the
I
Bad Batch?
I think it was trying to do a Clone Wars. You know how the Clone Wars had never had one main character. It focused on all these different people. They even had an episode just about the droids.
Yeah, but the Clone Wars is like it's not called
But yeah,
Ahsoka or Anakin Skywalker. It's
yeah,
like
I
a whole.
know.
It's like Game of Thrones. It's like a whole ensemble
It,
of cast
it
members, but or
I mean, I
characters.
wouldn't really compare it to that, but I would say that yeah, it wasn't about one specific storyline. The Clone Wars could expand to everyone involved in the war. Like, did they have an episode just about the Separatists? I don't remember, but it would be believable if they did.
In
Like,
Clone Wars,
yeah,
I think they did. Yeah.
I mean, even if they did have it, I don't remember if they did. That in itself would make sense. But for the Bad Batch, I feel like the episodes like even those few episodes that focus on just Omega, she is technically part of their group, so I suppose that makes sense. But that one episode that just focused on that senator, I don't think that made a whole lot of sense. I'm like, where
Yeah,
it was like,
it's like
and I hated that because I think that first happened in the Book of Boba Fett, where there was one
it did.
episode
Yeah,
where he never appeared. It was just the Mandalorian, and we're like, what is
it was
this?
It was Mando 2.5. That and then they didn't really have a story for season 3 because they already used it in one episode of Boba Fett, and that's why season
Yeah,
3 is like a quote unquote terrible season. I didn't think it was. I thought it was okay, but that's why like season 3 wasn't as memorable as 2 or 1, because if they brought in that story from Boba Fett, it would have been a good season, but they wasted it on a fucking spin-off show instead of showing Boba Fett. Like, instead of focusing on Boba Fett, they focused on Ahsoka and Luke and Grogu and Mando, like just
yeah, Luke. I forgot
so.
who was in there.
And then they decided to do that for like every other show, like even Mando. Like they had Bo Katan be the main focus instead of Mando. It's so stupid. And then in Bad Batch, they're not even in the whole series.
Yeah, I know. I feel like they just gotta stop doing that. That's like having an episode of Andor and then like focusing on I don't know, like Palpatine sitting in a chair all day. Like it just
Like
makes sense.
I am bored. I know what to do. I already executed Order 66.
I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing until Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but
Pretty much.
he's just like he's just doing his like daily chores. That's basically the whole episode.
Bring me tea.
I gotta wash the dishes today. I gotta empty the trash compactor on the Death Star. Just like a lot of different dumb shit. Like, um, just get your shit together. But yeah, season 2, it was the best season, but I feel like it's kind of like not as memorable as the best season of Clone Wars. Or
Yeah.
the
I mean,
most like the
did you
worst
like
season.
season 3 of Bad Batch? Because I thought that was my favorite.
I like season 3, yeah, but I kind of felt a little annoyed by the fact that Omega got kidnapped
Oh my god, I
twice
kept yeah,
one
I know.
fucking show, in one fucking season.
She got kidnapped, yeah, like twice.
You know, like
I mean,
they got her back, and then she got kidnapped again, and I'm like, what
and
the fuck is going on?
this time she willingly went with them as well, didn't
Yeah,
she?
it's the
Like near
worst
the end.
part.
Actually, yeah. And here's the thing: is that I kind of feel like they had nothing else that they could do with the show. They're like, okay, season 1, we had them do a bunch of random missions that didn't really work out. So season 2, that finale was good, but she got captured. So let's just go with that. And I mean, I feel like they did have like a good explanation for why the Empire wanted her so badly, and I feel
Yeah,
like it did
hold
raise
on.
the stakes because wait,
Spoilers for season 3, by the way. I'm gonna put this at the start.
it's
Yeah,
spoilers of the whole series. I should know better. You watch
yeah,
it, you
but
should
like
know.
I'm gonna put timestamps and well, it might be a premiere, but yeah, I'm gonna put timestamps in season 3. Not everybody is seeing yet, so I'm just saying right now. Anyways, um,
Just put a thing on like the thumbnail saying spoilers for the whole series.
okay, but yeah. Anyways, continue. Sorry
But what was I saying? Yeah, and she got. I forgot what I was saying. Shit.
about getting kidnapped.
Yeah, I feel like they had like a good explanation for why that kept happening, and I feel like because we kind of grew to like her a little bit more in season 2 than season 1, I feel like that made it a little bit more like I kind of smiled a little bit at the end when they got her back in that final episode. That kind of did feel heartfelt,
It did, yeah. And
and I felt like they were trying to explain how Palpatine got those clones made of himself because I think that's what they were going with. Because uh, spoiler alert: the Emperor appears in the show for one episode to like see like what he's working on, and I think they explained in like some canon comics or something that they were making all these clones of Palpatine. So the one that we actually saw in the Rise of Skywalker wasn't the OG Palpatine. It was like his spirit or something went into like a clone.
it's a variant. It's the multiverse.
Like you know how there can be a Force ghost. I think there's like a dark Force ghost that can like possess things, and he just possessed a clone of himself. But
I can
like
see
they,
that, yeah.
but remember the reason why they wanted Omega's blood is because they wanted to have the same amount of midichlorians inside this clone, so Palpatine wouldn't have to be attached to that machine. But she got away, and now when they made the clones, that clone was weaker, and that's why he had to be on that machine and make Snoke to do all the dirty work.
That actually
But
makes so much sense now.
it wasn't until like he saw Rey and Kylo Ren and like absorb their power, and then he was finally able to have the strength to be able to fully like become corporeal with that body and like finally become himself again instead of that body having to deteriorate just from his dark power alone and not
Yeah,
having the
that
strength
actually
to
makes
support
total
him.
sense now.
And yeah, and I think he kind of just like stole some of the force power from them, and that's why he was like regrown. And technically, since Rey was the daughter of a clone of him, she would also have enough midichlorians to sustain holding his spirit, and that's why he wanted to pass on into her when she would kill him. So I feel like they're trying to rectify the whole somehow Palpatine returned, and they're like, shit, we have to put an explanation. And like, I noticed like the shows are leaning more into the sequels now. Like, was it Ahsoka or was it like Boba Fett that showed like Luke building that training place? I don't remember.
Uh, I think yeah, it was one of the shows. Yeah. No, it was
Because I remember, I think
it wasn't
Grogu was
it was
there.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, because they said like Grogu was gonna be the first student, and they were building that place that Kylo Ren ended up burning down. I mean, I feel like they're trying to explain the sequels a lot better because like when you go from Return of the Jedi to the Force Awakens, it's like the Empire's destroyed. Now they're not, and they have no explanation for how they came back. Now the shows are kind of being like, oh, there's still remnants of the Empire still left around, and now they formed into the First Order, and but I feel like you could have explained that like way before you released those movies, instead of having to make us guess for several years just to give us the answer now.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
And
what the final season of Bad Batch was trying to do.
yeah. And
Explain
again,
the
I
Palpatine
don't
clones.
hate the new trilogy, but they're definitely fucked up. Like they're definitely like kind of like very what's the word, dysfunctional, and they're
Yeah.
trying to like fix the wrongs that they've made for the sequels into shows like Bad Batch or like Mandalorian or Ahsoka or any of that shit. So yeah, they're trying to fix it, and they're doing a good job. Like I think it makes a lot more sense now, but yeah, it just seems like they should have done this to begin with, and I'm a little pissed about that.
Yeah.
And speaking of Palpatine, I'm looking at the poster right now for season 3. They really baited us with Palpatine because he's kind of like in the fucking center of the poster, and
I mean, he is the main villain of the entire Star Wars thing.
yeah, but he only
Minus
appeared in one episode. That's it. I thought he was
I
gonna be
know.
like main villain throughout. Like they're gonna like the Bad Batch are gonna fight Palpatine or some shit.
Oh no, they'd all die if they went to fight Palpatine. He wouldn't even need to use his Force lightning. You could just choke all of them at once and be like, "I win." No.
Also, I love how they brought back Ian McDiarmid as Palpatine because, like, I loved the Clone Wars actor, rest in peace. Um, and I think Tim Curry did the voice of Palpatine after that guy died, but
Yeah.
nobody does Palpatine better than Ian McDiarmid. Think I pronounced that name wrong, but nobody does Palpatine better than him
Well, yeah.
because
Was
he,
that the guy who voiced him in the Bad Batch? Was it the actual
yeah, it was the
Palpatine?
actual guy from
Oh,
the
good.
movies. Yeah,
They should have had him in the Clone Wars the entire time.
they
But
should have. Yeah, dude, imagine like him voicing during that Darth Maul scene like I am most impressed to see you have survived your injuries because like I liked I liked the voice actor for that, but there's just something about Ian that just makes Palpatine menacing. Like just the voice, and I don't know if it's because he got older, so he sounds more menacing. But I feel like he sounded all very menacing and like because he also appeared in season 2, and I'm like, oh god, he sounds terrifying.
does
Like
anyone
it's just
remember? I wonder. Does anyone remember the original Emperor from The Empire Strikes Back? I feel like
no, I
everyone's
think
forgotten
people
about
have,
him.
yeah. He did not feel like Palpatine at all. He's just he just sounds like he sounded more like Tarkin. He's like there is a great disturbance in the Force. Actually, that's
Yeah,
not Tarkin, but still, like it just.
and I actually noticed something. I watched the original Empire Strikes Back. I noticed that whole line saying like the young rebel who destroyed the Death Star is the offspring of Anakin Skywalker. He never said that. And I noticed earlier in the
I know
film,
he
Vader
didn't.
already referred to him as Skywalker. So Vader already knew in the
Oh yeah,
original
that's right.
one. And he had to
Yeah,
tell him in the special edition, and that didn't really make sense why Vader already referred to him as Skywalker earlier.
did they delete that in
No,
the
no,
special?
it's still in there. Apparently, they had it in the books that Skywalker's a common last name in the Star Wars world. So Vader kind of just figured, oh, it's just not related to me. It's just another
Yes,
guy.
I I am not the father. You are the father. Fuck.
I mean, you would assume that Vader would figure it. I mean, he sensed how much the Force was with Luke. His last name is Skywalker. He's around the same age to be his son.
Yeah, but it seems like
Obi-Wan Kenobi was traveling with him and smiled at Vader once he saw Luke. I mean, how did Vader not figure it out himself?
no, it just feels like Vader kind of knew from Palpatine. And like
I feel,
I'm talking the special edition in particular because
yeah.
he said, "How is that possible?" Right after Palpatine said, "I have no doubt this boy is the
Yeah,
offspring of Anakin Skywalker." I'm like, yeah, okay, so we figured out there.
I figure no, I think that just confirmed his suspicions. I feel like he
Oh,
always had
okay.
suspicions, and how quickly he said, "How is that possible?" He never paused and said, "Really?" He's just like, "Yeah, I know, but how is that possible?" That's kind of how it really came off to me.
How is that possible? My dick got burned off.
How's
Anyways.
that? No, he thought how is that possible because he thought he killed her on Mustafar. He
Oh,
didn't kill
oh,
Padme
yeah, that's right. That's
because
right. Yeah.
Palpatine lied to him, saying like you killed her when he didn't.
Yeah, just that. Yeah, I haven't watched Revenge of the Sith in a while, so yeah, I forgot about that.
But anyway, season 2 of the Bad Batch, pretty good. I like
We're
that.
on yeah, we're on season 3 now.
Yeah, season 3. Yeah, season 3. That's my favorite. They brought back Asajj Ventress as well.
Yeah, Ventress. I didn't see the trailer, but I saw people talking about Ventress coming back. I was like, what? Ventress?
She
Because
had
like
like,
they
and I was
brought back
surprised to see she has hair.
yeah, that is kind of cool, but they did they brought back what was his name? Cad Bane and Boba Fett. I didn't
Yeah,
expect to see him
kid.
again because like I said, Clone Wars got canceled after season 6, and they deleted some storylines even in season 6 where it's just like I think there was supposed to be a Ventress storyline. Cad Bane was going to show up,
Did they ever
and now
explain? Did they ever explain the use that Palpatine had for Darth Maul when he said, "I have other uses for you"? I don't remember if they ever did.
I think that was supposed to be in the Ventress storyline because he was supposed to go to Dathomir and kill Ventress. I think, or like I don't remember that entire
I mean, she
storyline.
she did say, "I have a few more lives left," implying that she died and then came back because it's Disney Star Wars.
No, I think it's because that storyline did happen, but it was off screen,
Yeah,
and
that's what I
Ventress did
mean.
survive. Like, not
I,
she didn't get killed. It's just Darth Maul thinks
sh
he killed her.
I mean, well, if she did get killed, her family's like witches. They could have just brought her back to life with magic.
That is actually true. Yeah, I didn't think about
I
that.
feel like that storyline is canon. They just, yeah, it was off screen. He killed her, then Darth Maul ran away, and then the witches brought her back to life. Somehow she returned, and yeah,
I did like that episode with Ventress. Like, it wasn't the best one, but I did like how they used her. I thought they were
yeah.
gonna go forward with the Jedi thing, but I don't know. It just kind
She,
of felt like they wanted to make her a Jedi, like, or like not a Jedi, like a Force user. But they're
they,
just kind of like, okay,
yeah.
we'll drop it.
I noticed how they changed her a lot. Like she was really evil in the Clone Wars, but when she got betrayed by Count Dooku, it feels like that she changed. Like she wasn't going out of her way to kill all the clones. The war was over. It felt like she was different. She didn't feel like a Sith Lord. She kind of felt like how Ahsoka was when she wasn't a Jedi anymore. She was something different. It's like
And it
she's not a
makes
Sith
sense.
anymore. She's not a Sith anymore, but she's not a Jedi. She's just like
Yeah,
her doing her own thing.
and it makes sense because like it didn't come out of left field. It was just like, yeah, like I expected her to kind of like be like a gray Jedi now because like not exactly evil. She kind of still has a little evil left in her, but she's not like the menacing bitch that we know her from like seasons 1, 2, and 3. After Dooku betrayed her, she kind of just was like, okay, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore.
And
And then
also,
after and then Order 66 happened, and that kind of changed everybody, even Maul. So yeah, like it makes
Also,
sense.
why was she there? I forgot why she was there in that episode. Was she looking for Omega?
Yeah, because
Because I think she heard that the Empire was looking for her, and she wanted to know why. She saw that she wasn't force sensitive, so.
I think so. Yeah, I forget who called her. I think it was the chick from Boba Fett,
Oh yeah, it was her. Yeah, she's that's right. That's right. Yeah, she said you might
and then
want to
she
see
asked to
something.
like check up on her or whatever, or something like that. But yeah, it had something to do with the I forget her name, but yeah, that's why Ventress showed up.
Yeah,
And then uh Crosshair, I didn't expect Crosshair to like because
and
obviously
good.
everybody knew Crosshair was going to turn good
Yeah,
because
yeah. I mean, I
that's
knew
just
it.
typical Star Wars.
Did
But
Did you not know?
no, I knew, but like I didn't expect I didn't expect it to happen so early. I thought it was going to happen in like season in like episode like 14 or 13,
Was it
and then
season 2 or season 3 that they were showing him get disillusioned with the Empire?
I think it was the end of season 2, and
Because
then
and then it was the beginning of season 3 where he shot that admiral because he just
yeah,
didn't give it.
yeah.
I feel like that was the last straw because he carried that clone like through all the snow and ice and he was like help him and he's like I don't care, so he shot the admiral.
Yeah, so like I said, I thought that was going to be like his storyline in throughout season 3, but they kind of combined it into two, and then I think in like episode like 6 or 7 or maybe even 5, they brought him back to the Bad Batch. I'm like,
And
damn, I didn't expect it
I
that early.
I feel like he was pretending not to care because I remember like when Omega wanted to save him, he's like, "Look, don't try to save me. I wouldn't do the same for you." I feel like he would because there was even a time where he came back to help her. I think he just didn't want to go back to the Bad Batch. I feel like he felt so guilty for what he did. He didn't deserve forgiveness, and it's like he wanted to deny that goodness inside of himself because it was like too painful to like to for him to like understand that despite this goodness I had, I still did these bad things.
Yeah, that makes
And,
sense.
and the shaky hand thing that he had, and that wasn't like a medical thing. Like that was just like a mental thing that he had. Like I feel like he was like scared of going back to that place, and he was filled with guilt over what he has done, and that's why he was having that shaky hand.
Yeah, that makes sense now. And then
But hey, he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. He got it chopped off.
you know, no more hand to deal with.
No,
So continues the missing hand syndrome from Star Wars. Luke had it, Anakin had it, and now Crosshair.
I am missing my arm.
I am missing my arm. So, um, yeah, I did like, and also um, there was kind of like hit or misses throughout the season. I'm like, okay, that episode was okay. The finale, no finale except for maybe Boba Fett has disappointed me. Actually, that's a lie. Ahsoka kind of disappointed me a bit, but that's not like the series finale. I'm talking like Obi-Wan or Boba Fett or Clone Wars. Clone Wars
Honestly, I
masterpiece.
gotta say, I did not hate Obi-Wan. I did not like that. What's her name?
Riva.
I didn't like Reva, but I don't think she ruined the show single-handedly.
No,
And
she didn't. But
I enjoyed the scene where Vader fought her, even gave her a lightsaber just to prove I'm better than you. I did like that. It showed how
that was
cool
so
Vader
good.
was.
I'm happy they did that. That was great.
He's like, "That's so tough now, huh?" And then he was just like dodging every single attack she was doing. Because
You
we never
think
really
you're
got that.
better than me?
We never got that in the original. We never got to really see. I mean, like we obviously knew Vader was more experienced than Luke because he wasn't fully trained yet, but we never really got to see Vader like fighting someone like with the dark side and just like dodging every attack, not even trying to hit them. Like he's just trying to prove he's better.
Yeah, because that was Vader in his prime. In the original trilogy, he got old and he was kind of like moving slow because like age got to him. And then like in
He was
Rogue
only 40.
and
You know,
Fallen Order and all that stuff, he was still like kind of like fresh into Vader. So that's why he was like moving a lot and like kind of like killing more. Like he
I
just
mean,
kind of got old after a while.
he wasn't out. I mean, didn't he die at like 44 or something? He was in
I
his
don't know.
40s when he died. I know that.
When did he turn to Vader? Wasn't it like in his 20s,
So he
late
was
20s or
20. He
something?
was 23 because he was 9 in the Phantom Menace. 10 years later, Attack of the Clones. 19. 3 years after that, he's like what? Like 20, 22?
22, yeah.
22, and then 19 years after that is A New Hope. So he'd
I
be I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So 19 plus 22. Yeah, so he's 41.
He'd be 41 in A New Hope. Did Empire Strikes Back take place what? A year later, 42? And I don't know how long after Return of the Jedi happened. I would assume a
I think it
year.
was 3 years maybe, because Luke had to have some training.
No, he never came back and completed the training.
No, I'm well.
There was no
Actually,
way
it
Han
might
was
have been a
inside
year.
that
Actually, yeah,
carbonite. There was no way he was inside the carbonite for 3 years. So
that
it
that is
would
true.
be
Yeah.
probably at the minimum one. So Vader would be at like 42 ish, 42 or 43 when he died. So he wasn't really that old. It wasn't like he was like 60 or 70. I don't think he would, like, age would get to him that much. He's not even like 50 yet.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
but
age works differently in the Star Wars universe, so like I don't really know how that works. But
it
anyway,
does.
you're probably right. You're probably right. But anyways, back on the Bad Batch. I did
Too much
like.
changing.
Yeah, the finale was good. I liked the finale. I didn't think it was as good as Clone Wars because Clone Wars had, I'd say, rivals Breaking Bad's finale as the best finale of all time. But for Bad Batch, it was pretty solid. Like it kind of wrapped up things
I mean,
nicely.
I mean,
Echo had his moment.
I know you mean like in terms of like having a great finale, but like just comparing the two, I love the scene where Anakin Skywalker hit the button and the machine gun came out and shot all of them. Like, can't really compare the two.
Yeah, no, they both ended their series off in the most perfect way possible. That's what I was referring to. Because there's like no open ends. There's like it kind of ends off the way you expect it to end, and it was just better than you thought. Because that's why Clone Wars and I forget. I think it was Better Call Saul as well, or BoJack Horseman. Those are like considered, and Breaking Bad. Those are considered like the best finales ever because they just wrapped up the story nicely, and yeah, they did a good thing. Like
Yeah.
Anakin didn't have to have a fucking machine gun and killed off all the clone troopers like that, but no, like it
I
made
was
sense,
making a
you know.
joke because that was the end of Breaking Bad. He
I
did
know.
that, but I anyway about the Bad Batch. I was kind of surprised to see like an after credits kind of it wasn't really after credits where it was like many years later. Omega's like an adult now, and she's like the Bad Batch are really old, and she's leaving to be like a pilot for the Republic. I mean, for the Rebellion. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, and I did like the final battle, and
Oh yeah,
Crosshair got his
I,
redemption with the, or not his redemption, but like he kind of finally shot someone good.
and I like the Project Stardust reference. How like they're like after Project Necromancer failed, they're like move all the funding into Project Stardust. And if you saw
Oh
Rogue
yeah,
One, and if you saw Rogue One, you know that that's a Death Star because like the head scientist who did it was Jin's father, and he named the project after her with the nickname
yeah,
Stardust. So
and
I thought that
I
was
feel like
pretty cool.
we forgot to talk about Tarkin. He was in the show.
Yeah, Governor Tarkin. Yeah,
What'd you think about Tarkin? Like, what'd you?
I really liked him. I like how they used him like even in the Clone Wars, like we got to see him. Because really, he kind of was an important character in A New Hope. I mean, he was the one like running the Death Star, and even Vader. He and Vader were like on like the same level of authority and seemed to have this respect for each other because Vader would listen to what he would say. So I feel like he he kind of like feels like a villain, you know, like even with that accent, the voice, and everything, and like the "You may fire when ready." That's kind of like very iconic. But I'm happy
Yeah,
that
that's
they brought
an
him
iconic
back
line.
in the Bad Batch, and even in the Clone Wars, we got to see what he was like during the time of the Republic.
Yeah,
And I like it. I think he actually figured out on his own that Vader was Anakin because he met Anakin in the Clone Wars, and he noticed like little things about Vader that was similar to Anakin, like the way Vader would rally his troops, the way he would fight, and he kind of figured it out on his own that Vader was Anakin.
either that or the Emperor told him.
No,
But
there were like books that he had his suspicions, and that's why he said to Vader in A New Hope, like, "You, my friend, are all that's left of their religion." He even saw like how obsessed Vader was with fighting Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah,
he was quite smart. Like he was one of the only people who actually knew. He never
and
outright said anything, but he.
yeah, it's just like I know who you are. I'm just not gonna say it.
And I feel like
um,
Vader didn't care if he knew or not because he wasn't gonna
yeah,
tell him.
because he Vader Anakin was long gone, so he doesn't give a shit anymore.
They both like had that respect in the Clone Wars when they were talking about like the issues with the Jedi Council, and he's like, "Yeah, finally somebody gets it."
Thank you, you get me finally. But I was expecting Rex to show up in the finale.
Oh
Like
yeah, that.
I was like, where the fuck
What
is
if,
because
like, what if Rex showed up with like all the clones and stuff that he had with him that he was like rehabilitating,
yeah,
with
because
like the chips?
the episode was called "The Cavalry Has Arrived," and I don't know if the cavalry was referring to the Bad Batch themselves or Echo's team, but it just seems like Rex should have been there because Echo was also there, and it was kind of like a rescue mission and all that, and it was like an all-out war. I
Uh,
was expecting Rex to show up.
yeah. Also, I have one question. Why was the Zillo Beast there? They were cloning the Zillo Beast. Why the hell was he there? I don't know
I
what that had
don't.
to do. Like, what did that have to do with cloning Palpatine? They want like a giant pet to ride or something? Like what?
I completely forgot about the Zillo Beast because that was such a nothing episode in Clone Wars, and they brought him
I,
back. Like,
I mean,
you
I thought
remember
that
this? I'm like, oh.
I kind of thought that was a cool episode in the Clone Wars. I felt like Godzilla because he was let loose in a city.
Yeah, that was totally a Godzilla reference, but
And
I don't think it was anything besides that.
I noticed the Zillo Beast was rather intelligent. It could understand what people were saying, and it hated Palpatine because he like heard the things he was saying. But I felt like it was more that he could sense that he was with the dark side, and that's why he was attacking him. I feel like like because animals can like somewhat sense the Force. I think in Star Wars, like, or like they're affected by it. Like Jedi can like tame them and stuff. I think it could probably like detect like this guy is like really evil. I gotta kill him. And I think that's why he was
Right.
like going after him in the Clone Wars.
And uh also yeah, Omega has a pet Batcher
Yeah,
that she
Badger.
rescued from the prison. That was cool.
Yeah, it was kind of
What else?
cute. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what else happened. The scientist chick, she was cool. Who else?
it
Rampart.
was kind of messed up that they had all those children locked up to experiment on them. because they were like
Yeah,
younglings essentially.
yeah. If Vader was there, he'd just kill them all. So it's just like, there's children on board. Where are they?
You would think that Palpatine would tell him capture the younglings so I can make them into Inquisitors, but Vader's like, "Wait, I was supposed to do that."
I can imagine that, just like, bring me the children.
I saw a meme of that. How he's like, "Are the Jedi dead? Yes, Master. Are the younglings captured? What did you say? Are they captured? I killed them." He's like,
Kill the younglings! I was supposed to make them inquisitors, you fucking idiot! I'm sorry,
"Yeah,
master.
it
I
was such
couldn't
a."
help myself.
He's like, "Wait, did I just hear you correctly? Did you say you killed them?" Yes, I killed the younglings.
I'm a man of my word. Not just the men, but the women and the children too.
They're like animals. I
And
slaughtered
I
them like
slaughtered them
animals.
again. That would be so funny if he just repeated the line. Just,
I
just a
hate them.
deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith, like, where are the younglings? Shit, I was supposed to bring back the younglings. Why did you kill the younglings? You said kill all the Jedi, not the younglings.
I don't want any competition. I want you to replace me with another Jedi.
They're children, Lord Vader. They're children. Imagine
That
Palpatine
that
giving.
Palpatine has empathy or something. Like he gives a shit.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's a line he can't cross, and that's killing children.
I can do a lot of things, but not that.
I may be evil, but I at least don't kill children. What is wrong with you?
I'm the Senate, not the fucking child
Did,
murderer.
did I fuck you up that badly? Did Padme hurt you that much? this is a terrible podcast, but
God.
um, we just made our own deleted scene of Revenge of the Sith. Anyways, yeah, like that is very
Cannon.
fucked up about yeah. Um yeah, having the children in the prison was kind of fucked up, and
Oh,
wasn't
my
that
computer's kind
wasn't
of
it,
glitching.
you okay, dude?
Yeah, my computer's kind of glitching a little bit. I don't know what happened.
It's weird. I feel like we should wrap this up because it's like we're recording for 53 minutes. So
Yeah.
overall, I think it's a good show, and if you're a Star Wars fan, uh, this is kind of tough because it kind of feels like a Marvel show that's like a spinoff of a spinoff because it basically is. Um,
Yeah, it's a
it
spinoff of a spinoff. Yeah.
it is kind of important if you want to know what happens to certain characters or some shit, or if you just want to see Rex or Palpatine or
Oh,
Asajj Ventress again.
one last thing. I did appreciate of the whole thing of them replacing the clone troopers with stormtroopers. I like how they added that, even in the first season.
Oh
That
yeah,
because they never really explained that in the movies. You're kind of just led to believe that the clones are the stormtroopers, which they aren't. I kind of knew that already, but they never really explained it. And I feel like that was like a cool little like political thing of like, hey, do we still need the clones or have they served their purpose? I think that was a cool thing that they added.
that was pretty interesting. Yeah. Uh, yeah. I think it's good, but if you want to watch a Star Wars show that kind of explains the whole lore of Star Wars in general, watch Clone Wars because it feels like this is just like I don't want to compare it to like Echo, but it kind of feels like it is sort of like the Echo show of Star Wars because it's not bad, but it just seems like it's kind of like there, you know?
I
It just
just, Joe, I just now remembered what Echo was the moment that you said it. That's how forgettable it was for me. How many episodes did we watch? Like two, and then we just didn't watch it.
I got so bored with that show. Yeah. I
At
wanted
one
to see
point,
Devil, and that was it.
yeah, and then they had to introduce the whole like magic ancient people
I was so
things. I don't
bored. But
fucking
anyways,
know.
yeah. So this kind of just feels it is a spin-off of a spin-off. You don't have to watch it, but if you want to if you want just want to watch all the Star Wars stuff, I mean it's one of the better Star Wars shows, I think. Um it's got fun characters, cool action. It kind of feels like Clone Wars, but it's not as good.
I mean, it's
Uh,
supposed to be like Clone Wars. It's a
I,
spinoff of it.
yeah, I mean, I recommend you checking it out if you haven't already. But Clone Wars is definitely better, and same with Andor and Mando. Those are like the three best shows. But yeah, it was pretty good. It had a good run.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Like, do you have anything else to add?
No, nothing else to add. I
All
kind
right.
of agree with what you were saying.
All right. So all right, guys, real quick before we get to the after party, I just want to let you guys know that there are some very inappropriate comments and jokes in here. So if you are not a fan of that at all, and if you don't want to hear it, click off now. I completely understand if you don't want to hear it, but if you don't mind any of that stuff, or if you're interested in what the comments say, feel free to stick around. Just want to let you guys know ahead of time in case people who have a problem with it are watching this right now. But yeah, just a heads up. Yeah. Let's go to the comments of the last episode, which did decently well. It came out 2 days ago at the time of this recording. It was the Deadpool trailer review and all that. Um, uh, I'm gonna force you to listen to the comments and about go as crazy as I am because these comments make me go fucking insane. So
Wait, are you reading every single comment?
there's like four of them, but yeah.
Oh, four of them. Okay.
All right, Daniel. He says an absolute banger of an episode. Keep up the Keanu-esque work. That's the best fucking compliment I've ever gotten. I really loved the vibe of this episode. Super chill and relaxing. Just two dudes talking about movies. Possibly my favorite core episode. And we need more Jake from State Farm. So yeah, I told you you had a fan. So yeah,
I was trying to like, I have a fan.
yeah. And
People
just
like
like
me.
yeah, no, yeah, I agree. We need more Jake from State Farm, and I feel like I've talked a lot about Deadpool 3, so I'll keep this brief. But it does look really awesome. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are perfect together. It looks funny, violent as hell, and heartfelt, which I was hoping it would have. But the idea they can go back to Endgame, I just really hate. I don't want them going back to any previous MCU moment. The only time that should have been done was in Endgame because that was 10 years of a celebration. So no going back to previous MCU moments, I hope. I don't want a lot of cameos either. Wolverine is great, even though he's not a cameo, he's the whole film. You can have other X-Men characters in previous MCU moments, I hope. But there's no Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, nothing like that. It just should be Deadpool and Wolverine's movies. Not, oh look, there's Doctor Strange. I think that's just one of the reasons I'm super excited for Joker 2 because it feels like a real movie. Don't get me wrong, I'm so excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. The fact people are just as excited for Joker 2, I think it's even more impressive because they're not bringing back old characters and having that be a gimmick. I'm not saying Deadpool and Wolverine is a gimmick. I never thought that. But I feel like we're in a world where studios think they have to put old characters to get people excited, and Joker 2 shows you don't have to. You just have to make a damn good movie, and Joker 2 does look like a damn good movie. And again, probably more excited for Deadpool and Wolverine, but I find myself being sometimes more excited for Joker 2, just in a different way. Super excited for both, though. Hashtag Deadpool. Oh my god. Here we go. Hashtag Deadpool gives head. Hashtag Wolverine makes me red. Hashtag Pot 11. Hashtag Jake from State Farm. I don't know why you put his hashtag above the other fucking three that's there. Hashtag Joker is him. Thank you, Daniel. That's a good comment. I agree. And I think you just killed Jake with that because he's not talking.
Like a bad neighbor, I'm never there.
The Portland Podcast clip says, I can't wait for Deadpool 3 and Joker. Both look great for different reasons. Hashtag Deadpool is him. Hashtag give me Wolverine's bussy. Hashtag Deadpool soggy bussy. Hashtag give me bussy. Oh my god, what is wrong with my comments?
Oh my god.
And a new guy, movies re-edited. I think he's a new guy. He says, you do mention No Way Home a lot, lol, banger episode. Yeah, I mean, I love the movie. Like, it's just, I think it's one of the best Marvel movies for sure. What can I say? And then, uh, I think this is the same guy because they're both named movies, unless if it's something different. Movie says, great episode, hashtag Busspool, hashtag Joker's the Bussy Boy, hashtag Joe loves the TS Bussy. I
What's
don't
with
know why
this
he
pussy
hopped.
shit always appearing in the comment section?
I don't know. Like I explained that, but it's just everywhere now.
You know they're gonna keep doing it. The more you
I
bring it up,
know.
the more they're gonna keep doing it.
I can't stop it. I can't. it's there. I started this chain in another podcast,
You can't
and
stop it. You are the bussy.
oh my, fuck you. You gave them fucking ammo, dude. You just realized
Yeah.
that.
I didn't give them ammo. I gave them all the. I mean, I gave them everything. I gave them the guns, everything.
Oh my god.
Look, I put bussy in every single comment now.
Yeah, it's not like they haven't already. I started the chain in a different podcast, and then they spread it to my channel.
Did you ever tell me like the origin of that? I don't remember
Yeah,
if you did.
because there. No, yeah, I told you before. There was like a there's this channel called the Poorly Pan Podcast, which they don't make videos anymore because real life stuff. But they there was one person who saw like an LGBTQ like parade thing, and one of the signs says "I heart bussy," and I thought, and he said like it was kind of like funny that was there, and he was kind of like poking fun at it, and I decided to like. Well, I mean, he wasn't poking fun at it, but he was just like, yeah, that was just kind of weird that was there. Out of like all the signs there, and he just saw that, and then I decided to be a dick and decided to make a joke about it, like, yeah, hashtag I heart pussy and all that shit, and then
Because of course you
it
would.
kind of fuck you, and then it just kind of I started like a little chain because other people in the comments section just started doing it, and then like we made some like clever stuff, like I said, ghost bussies afterlife and some shit like that. I don't even remember what the fuck I said, but it's just like I made like because uh his name is BHL Hudson, at least his YouTube name. I made him go insane because just he had to read all those comments, and there was a lot of them, and I'm like, this is fucking hilarious that he's acting like this. And then now when I'm doing my own podcast, that shit spread to my channel, and now I feel his pain. So I started this, and now I have to pay the consequences.
Whenever they put hashtag bussy, it's just a link to your channel. They put in all these different YouTube stuff.
You know what? Actually, let me actually see if that's the case. No, it's not. I'm getting some anime shit, but
Oh shit.
yeah. Hold on, let me go to channel. Oh god, no. There's a channel called Bussy Queen. Oh my god.
Oh no. Don't click on that.
I'm not clicking on that. But yeah, so it's Christ.
Oh god, what have you
So
done?
that's about it. You can find me on Instagram at Josie8356. You can find me on Discord at what's my Josie9282. Join the server, join the streams, tell people about the podcast. This has been getting a lot of love recently, which I appreciate. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cat. And just yeah, I don't know, just tell people. I need the love. But yeah, as far as future stuff, not much. Because Helldivers, I might do more Helldivers, not probably not as frequently as I did because there's something that went on with Helldivers recently that I am not too pleased about. But yeah, maybe a little more of that. I might go back to Fall Guys and Mario Kart. Just did Fall Guys last night, but yeah, we'll see. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Jake, you got any closing thoughts?
No, not really. I don't really
All
have
right.
thought.
He forces me to say this. No.
I have a gun in my head. He's forcing me.
For legal reasons, I don't. But so yeah, you can find Jake on the channel. He shows up every now and then. He's gonna be part of a Mario Kart collab that'll be in June. Jake, do you want to join the Jackbox collab? Oh wait, no, you
Maybe.
can't because I think you're working because it's next week, Saturday, and it's at like 6. I think you're working that day. Never mind.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, more Jake from State Farm will happen. I might do Mario Kart and Mario Party with him soon. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys later.
Bye.